Goedenavond, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And a second day of chaos in Pretoria today, as anyone who lives in Pretoria can tell you. The municipal workers doing what they did in Durban, just causing absolute chaos. Now they're turning upside down the rubbish bins. And, of course, we know what happens when they start doing that sort of stuff. And, of course, the buses are still blocking the roads at intersections, aren't they? And I've got a video attached here where we'll get the update. But before I show that video to you, I've got a very, very interesting document that I'm going to provide you a link to. And it's the South African Municipal Workers Union, Greater Tshwane region, talking about their issues. And the major issue is that they're looking for an 18% salary increase. And they raise a very interesting point that was actually confirmed in reports I read yesterday. Also note that the city has given Dr. Masola a golden or platinum handshake of 7 million rand. He was also paid his 18%. This is where the 18% comes from. If money is good for senior managers equally, we also deserve money. Our demands remain 18% backdated to the 1st of July 2017. As much as we will ensure that an amicable solution is realized soon, our legal team has been instructed to lodge necessary documents with SAL GBC on the 29th of July 2019. Then it's signed by the two key people. But I'm going to put a link down below so you can actually download this document and have a read for yourself. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates and have a great evening.
Other main stories now. The city of Tshwane is experiencing a second day of chaos as municipal workers continue with their strike. Now, workers affiliated to the South African Municipal Workers Union are protesting over wages, in fact, since yesterday. Striking workers used garbage trucks, they used buses to block traffic, and ENCA's Leranzo Temba is back in the capital. She joins us now live with an update. Leranzo, it was yesterday morning that we saw Pretoria, the city centre, pretty much gridlock. I mean, it affected so many different stories. We even saw the PIC inquiry standing down for the day because of the gridlock and the delays. Take us through the scene that we see unfolding behind you.
Well, it seems like it's the same situation, Michelle. The CBD of the capital still remains gridlocked, but more worryingly, the municipal workers have escalated their picket. They have now resorted to overturning the dustbins here. So as I'm speaking to you, some of the streets here in the CBD are littered with garbage that many of them who are working for the municipality would ordinarily pick up. What you're seeing behind me is some of the protesting members who are gathered outside Tshwane House, which is, of course, the seat of the executive mayor, who is not in the country at the moment. We understand that he is in China, but there is a high-level meeting that's taking place currently, Michelle. This meeting is of MMCs who are trying to find a solution to this really difficult salary impasse. As we know, SAMU is demanding an 18% increase, saying that there are some individuals, some senior members of the municipality that received this 18%, and they believe that they're entitled to it. We understand that there should have been a bargaining council meeting taking place today, but according to the city, it is not ready to take part in this particular meeting, saying that they're opting to rather postpone it for Friday. But of course, this will only mean that these workers will be more agitated as time goes by. But let's hear it from the Tshwane Metro officials as to how is it that they're not enforcing this urgent court interdict that the city has obtained from the courts. I have with me the Senior Superintendent for Tshwane Metro. Thank you so much, Mr. Isaac Mahamba, for your time this afternoon. We are seeing these sort of scenes unfolding yet again. More worryingly, they seem to be taking a more stinky turn with the overturning of dustbins. But more than anything, and of course, this is top of mind for you, the traffic still remains adversely affected. What is being done?
Good day to the viewers. What we can say at this stage, Ranzo, to start with, we'd like to sincerely apologize to the residents of the city about the situation that they found themselves in. Secondly, remember we announced that we withdraw as the city the bus services within the Tshwane. So in those two aspects, we sincerely like to apologize to the residents. But go back to your question about what's happening here. You'll understand that as Metropolis 1, there are some of our members that are affiliated into this same union that is being aggrieved. And two, you'll understand that we are a bit stressed as a department, as Metropolis. The focus is not only here. We are getting threats in other regions, municipal buildings, that they might be, life-threatening situations. So we are safeguarding also those buildings. Hence we see ourselves also, we are here trying to man the roads and understand again that the reason at this stage we could not tow the buses is that the very same people that will usually help us at the base garage, they are on strike. So how are we going to help us to tow these guys? But now we are busy with Plan B from other law enforcement agencies trying to see how they can best.
Let's pause it there and just allow this crowd to move. I'll also move out of shot, Michelle, but let's just see the numbers that are gathered here. These are the municipal workers that are demanding an 18% salary hike. Let's take a listen. That are saying it's 18%, if that's nothing at all. They are hearing the numbers. We understand it's about 3,000 municipal workers from all categories that are gathered here outside the Tshwane House, the seat of the executive mayor. And the demands are very clear. They want an 18% hike, less. But we know that those talks to try and get that salary hike are put on ice until Friday, well, at least according to the city of Tshwane. But let's just continue our conversation, if we may, Captain. Thank you so much again. But you were saying that, you are stretched. The numbers, you're receiving threats in various parts of the country with regards to more, strike action by municipal workers. But surely there should have been a contingency to try and mitigate such a horrific situation, especially on its second day.
Yeah, correct. But remember, I started by saying some of our members are affiliated to this particular same union, and they are also aggrieved. How can you plan not knowing who's going to show up for work? Possibilities are that those members as well, they might embark on that industrial action. So that's why we are saying now we are relying more on other law enforcement agencies. We just spoke now as a department to the provincial commissioner. I just spoke to him as well. He indicated he's willing. They are going to come on board. They will assist us with other resources that we might need from the SAPS. We need that resource. We need that assistant from the SAPS. That we should emphasize. And again,
will the police be able to escort you while you try and move the buses?
I'm saying we need whatever resources from the SAPS. As to how we're going to execute the plan, that we cannot disclose in public. We will have a plan. We're having a plan. We have a discussion with the provincial commissioner, and he's willing to assist. So as I'm talking to you now, there are discussions that are taking place between the two law enforcement agencies as to how can we remedy the situation. That's one. Two, the reason why this buses took long to be here, as I tried to explain earlier on, from the TMPD side, we also need other departments within the city for us to function properly. If, for instance, the same bus, we need to tow it, and our towing facilities at the TMPD, we cannot do it. We rely on the city-based garages to come and impound bigger engine capacities. So what I'm talking to you now, the very same people that are supposed to assist us are embarked on a strike. Hence, we see those dilemmas. But I'm saying we are not going to fold our arms and see and watch. We will assist the citizens of the city where we can. But bear in mind, as I indicated, we are a bit stressed. You just said the whole city of Tshwane is being affected entirely. To the Pretoria, Mabopane, Winterfeld offices, we are receiving threats. So we cannot just divert all the resources to one area. We need other law enforcement agencies to come on board, and definitely they are doing that and will get help.
Soup, are you able to maybe just give us an indication of how severe the strike is? I mean, we are on Madiba Street, which is blocked off, but I'm sure there are other areas in the capital that you would maybe just like to tell our viewers about.
You'll understand that. That's why we are saying we are worried about this particular inconvenience. Businesses are affected. People that are supposed to come to work are affected. School kids around this area are also affected. That's a huge concern to us as a city. From where I'm, from the direction eastern side, from Nelson Mandela Drive towards this direction, the road is blocked. From the western side, when you go to Mfunkom, as if you're going to Atteridgeville, the suburb of the western side, is also blocked with buses. That other side of the northern part, from Paul Kruger until Bond Street, up to this direction, it's also affected. Remember, as I said, if one or two streets are closed, we are having a concern as a city. So most of the people around here, obviously, they are inconvenienced about these whole street closures.
And just lastly and quickly, any arrests and any sort of looting or demolitions of shops?
We did not at this stage receive any information about the lootings of the shop, nor the arrests at this stage are not yet made. What we know at this stage, we there and there, as you can see, people obviously, yes, they are going up and down and chanting. There's no threats of people that were injured today. Yesterday, we received some reports about people that were injured, but they were not reported to us. We just hear them from the vibes, from the passage and the likes, but officially we did not receive any people that were injured to us. But as I'm saying, currently, although it's an inconvenience, but the people are demonstrating peacefully.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
There you go, Michelle, just giving us an indication of how widespread this protest action is. The city has, of course, condemned it, calling it very opportunistic, saying that NUMSA should really just make use of the proper channels to try and get their demands met. As I've indicated to you, the talks to try and resolve this impasse are likely to only happen on Friday.
Yeah, it seems bizarre, Lorenzo, before we let you go, that the talks are only scheduled for Friday. I mean, what's set to happen in the interim? Is there not even a counter-offer to this 18% demand from municipal workers?
From what I could understand, just talking to city officials, they do say that there were supposed to be talks today, but this could not happen because they are not ready, especially with this double-digit demand of an 18% wage hike. As I've indicated, there is a meeting that's currently underway with various MMCs putting their heads together outside the executive mayor, who is out of the country. Possibly there could be a different outcome that could maybe, bring the date closer so that we could avert even more serious action than this. Just speaking to some of the workers here, they've told us in, not uncertain terms about how it is trash today, it could be electricity tomorrow, it could be water the next day. Of course, we know that these are the men and women that are really responsible for the running of the city. And if they make a threat like this, it should be taken seriously. So right now there is a meeting, and we are expecting some sort of response. We don't know when. The workers as well are also expecting to hear from their members who have gone to ground, despite many calls being put to SAMU office bearers as to what are they going to do now that these talks have been moved to Friday. So only time will tell, Michelle, whether or not this situation we see here, and I quote, according to SAMU, is only going to look like a picnic.
Wow, that's quite a threat there. You'll keep us up to date on that story as it continues to unfold. In the meantime, that strike by municipal workers continuing there, those workers threatening to escalate their protest action if that 18% demand is not met.